Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of your packet work, where the focus is still going to be determining the main idea. Again, 5th grade involves determining 2 or more main ideas, 5th grade and beyond. But for right now, we're still practicing because I really want you guys to nail key details. I've noticed in the past that sometimes, oftentimes kids get confused between an idea and a detail, okay? So we're gonna focus again on those main ideas and then supporting the main idea with key details, because these supporting details prove and give evidence about what the main idea is. Okay, it gives a little bit extra support. I believe in the second little section, or the last 2 pages, not 14, 15, but 15, but 16, 17, you're asked to summarize a chunk of the text. That's the part where we can meet on Zoom, along with, of course, clarifying anything from today or yesterday. Check your Edsby student messages for the latest Zoom ID and password. And I'm not going to put it up here anymore because it can deactivate after a while. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The topic is no longer going to be the moon or even constellations, and it's also not going to be how the moon inspired people or about how constellations are grouped into, or basically grouped into little clusters of stars that go along with a shape. That was still yesterday. Now you'll see, if you look into your packet with me, it says how Pluto stopped being a planet. And this will be familiar to us because of our science LDC a little bit later on in 2019 that we covered. Okay, that was a good heated debate. So we know that the main topic right here is going to be Pluto. The main idea asks, what about Pluto? We know that scientists are not saying, or are now saying, that Pluto is not or no longer a planet. I'm going to change the word not to no longer. Not conveys that maybe it never was a planet, whereas now the information has changed. It was something before, and now it is no longer classified as a planet. I mean, I still think it should be just because it's a dwarf. But anyway, the book will prove me wrong. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the text. Oh yeah, say hi to Henry. He's not warmed up yet. Okay, let's see. Shadow. Okay, cool beans. So, the text states how Pluto stopped being a planet. And I'm going to box off where it says stopped being. I'm going to put a T next to Pluto. What about Pluto again? It stopped being a planet. And we'll see that a title, as you guys already know, is kind of like a little trailer, like a little movie trailer of what the text is going to be about. And this one explicitly states a little bit about the main idea right here. They're going to tell us about how Pluto is no longer a planet, okay, by Tyrone Nielsen. All right, as we read, we're going to make notes. You choose either the left side or the right side. Doesn't matter to me. I don't see any, as I look around my page, there are no text features that really stick out other than this little depiction of a planet right here. But it doesn't have labels, and it's not descriptive to the point that we need to pay too much attention to it. For decades, people believed our solar system had 9 planets. Again, for decades, so over time, kind of like the last 2 texts that we read. So over time, or throughout history, people believed, and oftentimes when you see words like people believed, that's a sign of ASWPC. And again, I can hear Dariana and Jaden yelling out author-specific word and phrase choices. Oftentimes, when authors put people believed or people thought that, they're going to kind of debunk a myth or tell us something different than what people have always believed. People believed our solar system had 9 planets. Okay? People believed 9 planets. So that's the part that they're going to tell us is actually wrong. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But in 2006, a group of astronomers decided that Pluto was not a true planet, but something else, a dwarf planet. Okay, stop being a planet. What is it now called? A dwarf planet. Okay, I already know the meaning of dwarf. If something is dwarfed, obviously it is, we think, something not just small, but smaller than. Small is different than smaller than, because when you think of something smaller than something else, you're comparing it to other things, and that's what it seems like they're going to have to do to declassify Pluto as a planet. So let's see. I'm also going to underline where it says astronomers decided that Pluto was not a true planet. Okay. Pluto, I'm going to write down Pluto, not planet. Okay. For my little main idea. Or you can write down not true planet. Anything that will make sense to you that captures this. I'm also going to circle the word true. Okay, because they're going to tell me a little bit more about that. The term, should have a comma there. The term dwarf planet might make you think that Pluto was kicked out of the Planet Club solely because of its size. When we went through this text earlier this year, for those of you who are here or with us at Mort, we learned that the word solely means only. Think of the word solo, okay? All right, so you might think, or the term dwarf planet might make you think that Pluto was kicked out of the Planet Club solely because of its size. Again, I'm going to underline size, okay? Look again, though, up here where it said people believed. And again, they do that little trick where it says might make you think, all right? Again, that's another way where they're going to tell us something that is no longer or not what we thought. It says, and it's true that Pluto is small compared with the planets. If Earth were the size of a basketball, Pluto would be the size of a golf ball. Okay. For this, I'm just going to do a little quick sketch. I'm thinking Earth and Pluto. Right? If Earth were the size of a basketball, Pluto would be the size of a golf ball, but Pluto's size isn't why most astronomers now call it a dwarf planet. So why the change to Pluto's status? I'm going to write down not just size. Okay, that's what this main idea seems to be about. All right. I'm seeing that this paragraph is structured a little bit differently. Seems like it's going to give me an idea with 3 points that support that idea. Here's why. Okay, this phrase is standing by itself. Is going to tell me why Pluto's status has changed. If you were to only skim through and not pay attention to this, and then only start reading here and pay attention to the here's why, you would be lost. You have to sometimes, remember we've been over this way, you have to make sure that you are paying attention to what comes before and what comes after those little lonely phrases. In August 2006, astronomers came up with a new definition of planet. Boxing the word planet, new definition. To define something, when you think of the word fine, I know it looks like fin hair, but that would be the base word. Think of something really narrowed down and focus, okay? Think about the tip of the needle, all right? There's a new definition. To define something means to focus in on a specific meaning of a word or a term. So let's keep on going. To be a planet, they said, an object has to meet 3 conditions. Okay, so it's kind of like when you guys are answering TBQs and we go through that list of conditions or criteria. So it's a description that has to match up or meet in order for something to be classified as a specific name or as a specific thing. In this case, we have to have certain criteria. It looks like there's 3 criteria, and each criterion has to show why a planet should be a planet or should be called a planet. It says so that object, it has to orbit. Let me do that for you real quick. Bloop. It has to orbit the sun directly. It can't be a moon or